Howdy. I have what I like to do. I realized I had these Yu-Gi-Oh shopping bags for when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a while, and then I could put everything in here, and then when I take it out to the shed, it's covered because it was raining. So that's why I did that. I was like, man, it really feels like I just went shopping. All right, time for Noise with Ivan. It does feel like I just went shopping and I didn't spend any money because I have this massive collection. I was listening to things as I was editing a few of the other videos that I recorded earlier. Right now I have a backlog of them, which is a very comfortable thing to be like prepared, to have like space to not have things ready. And what I ended up doing was sifting through the few LPs that I have. I actually have a very, very small collection right now. But things that I kept around because they were some of my favorite things, and I'm certainly going to have something to say about them. And you know, I found myself wishing that they were around when recording these so I could pull them out and show them. One of those things is this Back to the Streets compilation. It's one of the first things, I think the first thing I ever got when I was exposed to punk music and vinyl. This is what made me like punk and alternative music in general. Not necessarily alternative music. I'm sure I knew what. I think if I remember, my favorite band at the time when I went there for the first time was Korn, and I got introduced to real punk and metal when I got there. And this, I Don't Want to Hear It. The band A Poor Excuse covered I Don't Want to Hear It by Minor Threat. That's the main thing that I hear in my head. And then Ready to Fight, Negative Approach cover by Slang. It's weird that it's Japanese bands covering American bands. That is what I love so much, but it's so good. And yeah, this is just a great compilation. You can see I used a plastic bag because it didn't have a poly bag, and I was obsessed with poly bags. I love them. This is really a fantastic, revolutionary for me album. What I wanted to talk about in some regard, smells like I must have stepped on spearmint, was some scrams, because I came across just a handful of scrams, like emo violence stuff, and I use the word loosely because these are things that I only ever knew on vinyl. And I came across a handful of things when I was going through the 7 inches that were along the lines of doom as well. Doom, let's say, now if you're a big fan of any of these subgenres, there's stoner doom, doom, and sludge metal that kind of all get crammed into the same place. This I would say I put under the doom category, Beneath Oblivion. This is 10-inch vinyl that we're talking about right here. This is just a really sludgy piece, and a pretty cool one at that. I think it was, I don't know, it couldn't have cost much. I never bought anything that cost a lot of money, which is why I think that these are interesting. And I would like you to be capable of finding out about low-key bands without digging through crates. There's a sense of randomness about it. But yeah, this was a pretty cool thing from, okay, so www.beneathoblivion.com, and I will hook you up with, okay, so this is from 2008. A little bit newer than most of the stuff. When I was going through the 7 inches, almost everything was 2003, 2004. From 92 to 2008, probably. And now this is maybe 2008 up. I do have some. Okay, let me hit the rest of the sludge metal and Stoner Doom. You know what I can throw in with sludge metal? It's a secret for now. Hellbender. This was another thing, and I went through this in the 7-inch videos. This was we're gonna go Stoner Doom. This is what I think on this. I don't want to expose myself as a musical idiot or a subgenre idiot, but I would put this in the Stoner Doom category if I'm remembering the 7-inch correctly. And there's 300 copies of this, so you'd be lucky to cop one. It has that beautiful coffee stain on it. And then Negative Reaction, definitely sludge metal. I don't know if they do anything else anymore. I think they had a release in 23. So, I mean, that was 2 years ago. So, 2 years ago is an iffy time to find out if somebody's going to do anything or not. But if they're as unpopular as a lot of these bands are, of course. I mean, I suppose this came out, what, 2008? I went through these 7-inches already on the channel, so I'm not 98. Okay. Might still be doing stuff. They might just be really quality over quantity. And with noise music, it's 5 or 6 releases a year at least, so I'm used to a lot of releases. They don't have to do the same thing. Good for them. All the better. And then let's look at, for Doom, Stoner Doom, and sludge metal, we're gonna go for Mike and the Melvins. We've got them right off the bat here. This, I'm sure everyone's very familiar with this record. Mike is from, okay, I got this, Godhead Silo, I think. The two-man band. There were a lot of good two-man bands, like, Well Big Business is a really good example. And, there was something else. We won't focus on anything right now. We'll focus on... Yeah, I don't really feel the need to... It's on Sub Pop. I don't really feel the need to show it off too much. It's, I'm sure, a well-documented release. But hey, you know, Maggie Osbourne's very, very distinctive art style is definitely present with the record. And I mean, oh goodness, I can't believe how well care I took of these. This one is always represented, Jello Biafra and the Melvins. Back there, I have the poster. You can see it better when I have all the lights on. And then, oh goodness, this release wasn't amazing, but, well, none of the 3 of these are crazy good. I mean, I had listened to them to a point where, I had listened to this band so much that, you know, Bullhead and Stag and Houdini aren't really super listenable anymore. You know, you've gotten so much of that. I would put, for my 2 favorites, well, let's say Working with God came out at the peak of my Melvins love. So I went ahead and got that. But my top 2 are, the first one being Houdini Live. That was a different record. That was an amazing record. You know, I had Camille 2000 by Piero Piccioni and I sold it. It's a shame. I probably didn't get my money's worth for it either. It was the reissue. And that had a really beautiful thing. That had a really beautiful vinyl, and that's why I was reminded of it. But I think this takes the cake. Look at that. I almost said toothpaste green. Whatever kind of green you consider that to be. It's gorgeous. I love it. This is the bootlicker and the maggot. Oh, Oh goodness. I love this record. I love this. I don't know, I suppose it's the series that I like. And I don't know if the end, because it's like a trilogy. I don't know if I would consider that to be. What's the last one I think was, and you know what? I'd put that at number 3. The top 3 are Colossus of Destiny, and I have that on CD. Um, the Maggot and the Bootlicker, and then so I guess that's top 4, and then Houdini Live. The Houdini, it doesn't sound right to me when I listen to it. But yeah, these Melvins records are life-changing for me. And what beat out the Melvins for me when I was working after high school, it was in high school my favorite band almost the whole time was the Melvins. Magma took the cake. I have no Magma on vinyl because I wasn't collecting records at that point. All I did was listen to music at work. So, you know, I would have collected records because I had a very extensive music taste at the time, but why? Because, I mean, I was at work all the time listening to music. This is a album called, or this is Scab Picker's Vaginal Abduction. And you can see my original love for the absurd. The name of the label. I kept this. I got rid of so many LPs. I kept this. Nuclear Ass Records. That makes me laugh every time I see it. 406 copies. This is, I want you to understand what this is. This is pasted onto a sleeve. An inner sleeve. The outer sleeve is an inner sleeve with something pasted on it. And there's a poly bag over that. Why is there a poly? I guess because... Oh, goodness. So, very dear to my heart, this one. Right up there with the Maggot and the Bootlicker. Really incredible. I got this right before Riley died. Riley, oh my goodness. Power Trip. It was a split with Integrity, right? But yeah, this was one of the more fun, more exciting records that I had. You know, putting something on for a blast and some real energy was really, really solid, and only $14.99. Wait, no, I just started going through everything. Okay, well, because I went through Scab Picker and Power Trip, I don't really have a whole lot more stuff that's direct. Because I got to Scab Picker, let me go to the other Gore release I have. And then we'll go to Emo Violence. And then we'll just pick up on some of the other things that I have going on. Do you see how managerial I can be? Oh yeah, fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff in here. We can even get into some classic punk, right? Oh, I forgot this with the Stoner Doom Weed Eater. Great record. I believe it was relatively cheap too. I forgot I had the Cannabis Corpse album that looks like the eye. I can't believe I got rid of that and I didn't get rid of this. The Cannabis Corpse. Shout out to Cannabis Corpse and Battlemaster. Those are great Richmond bands. Great Richmond bands. I think I must have gotten rid of my Buzzard Dust LP as well. My gosh, I'm gonna cry today. I got rid of so much stuff. Hippopotamus Herpes. I knew that it was gonna. Absolutely ridiculous. I will say that a lot of the gore grind, gore noise stuff, has turned me off. I have really lost my interest in a lot of this stuff, but this is a win from Fermenting Sewage. Really great job on this one. This is just absurd enough. really fantastically absurd, I would say. Um, and yeah, I'm really pooping on police, pooping on dead. I don't know. Pooping on piles of poop, pooping on a pile of tampons, pooping on a Pop Tart, pooping on this track, pooping in a field. It's, yeah, it's just, I mean, it's, for me, I suppose that I have a little bit of sophistication, even though I get the biggest kick out of some of these, um, you know, absurd albums like Scab Picker and Hippopotamus Herpes. Noise is, as far as one-man projects go, noise and experimental music tend to hold a great deal of it's like, you know how people are black metal fanatics and then there are like grindcore fanatics. Like grindcore people are a little more laid back, so it's almost like real noise as opposed to gore noise. It's very hard to differentiate, and if you listen to a massive amount of music like what I've been doing, it's very hard to differentiate what's artistically profound as experimental music and what is just something that someone's throwing at the wall, you know, turning knobs. And literally, that's what it is. So there has to be a use for it. Oh, I have my favorite, probably my favorite album of all time, I think, in here. We have one more Stoner Doom album. No, I already showed that. I'm not high, I'm telling you guys. I'm really, really tired, and I've been drinking a lot of coffee to make up for it. Let me get back to, first of all, Left Cross's Chaos Ascension. If you haven't heard this album, it's an incredible album in black and death metal, I would say. I'm a big Left Cross fan. It's a local band. Warren is a big Warhammer guy. He had an Instagram account called Warren Hammer. So aside from Battlemaster, one of the best Richmond, and Cannabis Corpse, one of the best Richmond bands. Love them, and I think everybody here does. If they like metal at all. You know, I'm sure there are people who don't like it. Remain, I'm not recalling this, but it was a crappy record. It's another one of these ones that are on, so I would recommend it. If you can find it, I would recommend it. This is something that I have no confidence when I go to edit this video and put the description in. I have no confidence that I'm going to be able to find this album. It's possible. It's possible there's writing on it, but I don't think that this is a playable side. But let me tell you something. This looks gorgeous. Gorgeous. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. Alright. The Scab Picker record is like another era of... But this is... I mean, this isn't really any different. It's not on an inner sleeve, but it's, the cover is pasted onto an album for something else, I think. No. It's just a piece of cardboard. This is not a jacket. Okay. Which is cool. I like it. I'm excited about it. But I would assume, and I hope I'm going to be able to find some very cool things out. Usually when I do, like with Can I Say and the Shivering, and there were wires, and there's another 3-inch. If I don't remember it or I don't have a great recollection of it, I always, when I edit the videos, I always go back and listen to everything. I will bring it up a second time. As for the videos like these where I'm just kind of going through things quickly, going through a collection. Remain. The Shivering, yes, this is a classic. One of my favorite records from that time. And definitely along the emo violence lines, scrams. And a lot of people prefer the term scrams, but I always said emo violence. This is great and it's very accessible. Now you're paying $10 probably altogether if you were to order this online. I linked the Bandcamp in the last video, and I will link it again probably in this one. It's just fantastic. So if you like that kind of thing, I mean, as I've heard, this is this. Oh, it's from Chicago. Wow. I don't know. It's an older record. I'm thinking 2003. Yep, January 2003 too. Woo, before I was born. That's crazy. But the the records are still sitting around. They never sold them since then. That's insane to me. And this is a really, really great record. So I encourage you to listen to it online, see if it's your thing, and grab that. I mean, I want to grab them, but I have one. So, can I say, through so many others, I didn't say almost anything about this in the video where I brought it up, but it was so good when I went to listen to it. And, it was, yeah, artistic genius. If you like any kind of, emo violence, power violence, anything like that, it's 20 minutes. Give it a spin. Give it a spin. Give this a shot, because they're longer songs. Like there's a song. The songs fill up each side. Or well, I would say I think the first song was like 15 minutes. Anyway, absolute emotional awesomeness right here. This is a killer. I wish I had, had a more developed palette when I first got this record, on clear vinyl. Emotional, awesome. So I'm gonna list this one as list this video as power violence and sludge metal, and and then I will make another one for the rest of this. Oh no, I have more. Okay, I have more. No, not power violence, emo violence. I have more emo violence to come about though. So, and some more. I have some real noise music to come. So, but I've already done 20 minutes, and I don't want to go more than 30. I've had some 40-minute episodes. So, oh, my favorite album of all time too. Ooh, I'll do Power Pop in my favorite album of all time in the next one, but also I'll finish the emo violence. So check that episode out. It probably won't come out long from now, and I will see ya. Oh, check out Slavery. Slavery's my big album that I like. I've had a lot of stuff come out this year. That also came out this year. Listen to it. I really love it. If you want to listen to anything I do, listen to that.